Hello everyone, my name is Fernando Cuenca and today we're going to explore a fundamental topic for optimizing our learning process. Learning styles and strategies. The goal of this presentation is not only to understand how we learn, but also to discover what specific tool we can use to improve orientation and performance both as a student and educators. Let's begin. Introduction to learning styles. Definition. To begin, let's define what learning styles are. Essentially, they are the preferred or habitual ways in which an individual perceives, interacts with, and reports to their learning environment. Importance. Why it is important? Learning styles have a three impact. For educators, they help diversify teaching methods and allow for better adaptation to student needs. For students, they help them understand their own strengths and crucially optimize their learning process. Recognize these styles in the first step toward educational transformation, making the process more effective and personalized. Now, let's look at the model that classifies the preference. BIKT model, sensory learning styles. The BIKT model is the most widely used sensory classification. It recognizes learning preference based on the predominant sense we use to perceive information. This model divides styles into four main categories: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and tactile. Bright creation. Visual. People who prefer to receive information visually. They benefit from diagrams and writing text. Auditory. They absorb information actively through listening. They find it helpful to participate in debate and discussion. Kinesthetic. They learn through movement and action. They learn best when they can engage in physical activities. And finally, tactile. They focus on hands-on experience and physical contact. They learn best by manipulate and directly experiment with materials. To better understand, let's dive into the tools and activities that work for each style. Visual and auditory learning styles. Visual styles. Visual learners retain information presented graphically. The most effective tools from them are diagrams to recognize concepts, mind maps to connect ideas, writing text and visual notes. Auditory styles. Auditory learners process verbal content best and benefit from reception and oral explanation. Key activities include discussion and debate to reinforce concept, active participation in class, recording and listen to lectures for later review. Kinesthetic and tactile learning. Kinesthetic style. Kinesthetic learning is based on doing. Learning occurs through movement and physical activity and benefits from hands-on experience. Examples of activities include conduction practice experience, participants in role-playing game. Tactile exercise. The tactile exercise in subset focus on physical contact. Learns with this style learn by manipulating objects, and focus on organization information. Useful examples include using flashcards and working with manipulates, for example, Monels, Doraemon, etc. Why the BIKT model is popular? There are other key styles that other or more complete picture of how our communication works. The cycling style is a subset focused on physical contact. Cycling learn by manipulating objects and focusing on organization information. Why the BIKT model is popular? There are other styles that model of complete picture on how our communication works. Or a key style. Reflective connective styles. This style is characterized by the tendency to process and analyze the problem before acting, making sense of a problem before attempting to solve it, and making decisions based on a careful evaluation of information. Environment style. External conditions also play a role. Physical. Sensitive to environment conditions such as lighting and temperature. Sociological. This style is only half the equation. The other half, and perhaps the most important, is the strategy we apply. Learning strategies. Classification. Learning strategies are the specific action or behaviors that students use to facilitate and improve the learning process. Classification. We can classify them according to their function. Cognitive. They manipulate the material to organize information. Interpersonal. They involve collaboration in social interaction. Linguists relate to the use of language of compression and rotation. Affective regulates emotion and motivation. Creative foster the generation of original ideas. Cognitive and interpersonal strategies. Cognitive strategies. This technique directly manipulates the material to process information effectively. Classifying, diagramming, organization, information visual and in a structured way, such as in the concept maps. Interpersonal strategies. These focus on social interaction to enhance learning, cooperating, working with classmates to share ideas in short problems, role-playing, practice, skilling, simulates context, applying knowledge in practical situations. Affective and metacognitive strategies. Affective strategies. This regulates motivation and emotion to create sustainable learning. Personalized, relating the topic to personal opinions or experience to increase interest. Self-assessment, reflection, reflecting on one's performance to identify strengths and areas for improvement. Metacognitive strategies. These involve awareness and management of one's learning process. Planning, setting study goals and organize time and resort to achieve them. Monitoring and evaluation. Checking in a strategies is working and making adjustments to improve it. We have covered styles and strategies. Let's conclude by recapping the impact of this knowledge. In conclusion, Understanding and applying learning style and strategies is essential for educational success. This translates into several direct benefits. Performance optimization. By recognizing their preference, students can optimize their academic performance. Educational adaptation. Educators can adapt their methods to meet diverse needs and create more exclusive environment. Metacognitive awareness. Developing metacognitive strategies allows students to be aware of how they learn and output their methods independently. By combining this knowledge of styles and strategies, we create a more effective and fluid educational environment for everyone. Thank you for your attention, and I'm available for any question. Bye bye.